Call this meeting to order. Could I have a roll call, please?
Ahern,
Here.
Bathke,
Here.
Janeezer,
Here.
Heisler,
Here.
Staber,
Here.
Willer,
Here.
Yachty.
Here.
Okay, item number 2, approval of the agenda. We'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve. I'll second.
A motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, great. The motion is passed. Item number 3, the preliminary site plan. Ryan, the staff presentation.
Just worked. So this is a preliminary site plan for a 11,600 square foot multi-tenant commercial building. Property is located at the southeast corner of North Jones and Liberty Way. So it multiple tenants in there. It does have a drive-through facility along the south side. I have a look at that. I hit it. Property is zone C1B, which is our general commercial district. The future land use map designation is urban high intensity. So we have a couple of uses that they've indicated: personal service establishment. That includes a bunch of different things like beauty shops, barber shops, tanning salons. Basically a grouping of a bunch of uses. But potentially a restaurant could be located in there. Retail good establishment, also a drive-through facility. So we have a bunch of different uses that would be allowable under this. So all of these uses would be permitted in the C1 district. So from a use standpoint, there's no concern here. We've been working with the applicant about the design. So we've gone back and forth a little bit about the preliminary site plan. So what you see in front of you is pretty good. There's a buffer that's been established along the south property line. Looks like it's been installed several years ago. So that acts as a very good buffer from those adjacent properties to the south. So they'll maintain and protect that. Do have a pretty substantial multi-use 8-foot wide trail network throughout this area along Jones, along Cherry, obviously along Liberty Center Pound, along Washington. So this little stretch, when these two lots would be developed, would link those two together and provide a great alternative. So excellent and very robust multi-use trail throughout this area. It's pretty impressive. So we do have one finding that it achieves consistency with approval standards, and the staff recommends the Planning Commission accept the listed finding and forward the request to the City Council with recommendation for approval. I know the applicant's in the audience here if you have any questions.
Great. Thank you. And actually, we'll now go to item B, an applicant presentation. If you have any presentation or want to just introduce yourself for questions, please come to the podium and go ahead and do so.
Good evening. Name is Mark Snyder. I am the owner of Salons and Studios, which will be a primary tenant of the proposed development. This will be our fifth location, and very excited to bring this opportunity to North Liberty. The primary use of this is about 9,000 square feet that will be subdivided for high-end beauty and wellness users, small business owners really, that will rent a 12 by 12 room and then be able to offer their services. So there is a 2,300 square foot spec space on the east end that would be a drive-through user, preferably coffee, because everybody needs to have their coffee when they get their hair done, and at least that's what I'm told. But it is a higher end development because of the end users that we're trying to attract to the development.
Mark and I were chatting before the meeting, and he said he was looking at this property pre-COVID, and it's interesting to note that this property is almost entirely developed out, with the exception of the lot to the east. So I think he saw a need to jump on this and go before it was all built out.
Great, thank you. And now we need to take the time to open it to public comment. If there are any comments, we'll take that a moment now to hear any of those. If so, just come to the podium and introduce yourself. And having none, we'll go ahead and open it to questions and comments from the commission members. I was pretty pleased with the site plan. 2 driveways, drive-through, barrier to the south there.
It's pretty straightforward, I think.
Trail connections, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Well, if there are no questions for the applicant or the staff, then I'll entertain the motion. We have a draft one on page 8 if you need to see that.
They beat you to it. I'll move that the planning commission accept the listed finding and forward the preliminary site plan to the city council with a recommendation for approval.
We have a motion
Well, second.
and a second. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
You can. Heisler,
Aye.
Ahern,
Aye.
Staber,
Aye.
Willer,
Aye.
Yachty,
Aye.
Bathke,
Aye.
Janezer.
Aye.
Great, thank you. Item number 4, approval of the previous minutes. Did anyone have any edits or anything? If not, we can take a motion on that.
I don't think I have mine, but I was there.
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor of approving the previous minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, that's finished. Old and new business.
We didn't receive any new applications for February, so no March meeting is planned. Obviously, the weather outside of that small little blizzard incident we have, it's been fairly well. So construction projects continue to progress, and you can see those moving quite along. And I think somebody had mentioned they're putting the brick up on the Aldi, so that's pretty exciting. So weather's been doing well so far. So I anticipate things will probably pick up here in the spring.
I've been watching the Solomon's Landing, the apartments, man, those have kept going. They probably only took 2 days off for the really heavy snow. So they're really booking on that. Okay, if there are no questions, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.